All right, Ben. Today is May 25th. This footage is from May 24th. And let's dissect it a little bit. So, this footage is not one of your first throws. This is when we're starting to work on it. But we need to get your legs more mechanical. I did a very not so great throw, but there's still some good stuff here that we can take away from. So I'm going to bring up our feet. I think that's about the same. Not quite. Give me 1 second. All right, I think those are linked up. One thing to note is it doesn't look like you're really on your toe at all on either of these, which is strange because you really are. But if you can see my pivot and my heel right here, there's a solid pivot going on, and I am on the ball of my toe. It does hit the ground, which is not that great, but I am going for that jump. And it seems like you were just sitting on this side of your toe versus underneath, like this whole part. As you can see, I got more pressure sitting on the front of my toe. That way I'm able to pivot with it. And that's that front foot. But to me, you just look like it's almost your legs resting here versus actually being underneath you. And it can't be underneath you because of this. This is our starting form, right? Notice how my shoulder is parallel with my knee and with my toe. I wish I had a little bit more bend in my leg here. But regardless, it should be... I'm going to just draw this out real quick. This is shoulder. Should be able to put a rod through your shoulder, through your knee, and through your toe, and it would hit all three. As I can see over here, I'm just going to start from the toe. You got toe, knee, which means you do have a bit of a bend. And it just goes straight up your back. So I understand why we're resting on this outside portion of your foot, because you don't have any weight over it. Your center of balance is off, so there's no shared load. Like over here on mine, you can see that most of the weight is on this, but I'm not over. I'm not sitting over my knee. I'm with it. That way I'm able to pivot on both feet equally. But there's still some weight, so that way I can transfer it onto the next foot for my throw. I'm not even seeing a transfer. You look all upper body on your throws. Oh, I keep doing that. What? There we go. It's just, that's why, as you can see, if I could just pull up mine. No, I'll leave it there. Let's pay attention to mine right now. Again, this isn't perfect, but you can see this lift with my body. I'm throwing with my entire body, lifting in through the throw. And if you look over here, you're just kind of pivoting around and throwing upper body. There's no big lift. You're just arm. All arm. So we got to start incorporating these other muscles. Because like I said, pay attention to mine again. The thing I wish I saw more on mine, I wish my hips were forward a little more and my body back a little more. But you can see my toes are facing, my knees are facing, my hips are facing, and I'm able to lift from my toe through my leg through my arm, and through the throw. While you, all I'm seeing is just upper body throw. That's all that's happening. I don't see this movement, this motion lifting through the throw. I'm not seeing that. It looks dead down here, and all I'm seeing is that. Versus mine, you can see it's lifting through it with my whole body. All the muscles working together. I know you just have bad muscle memory right now. That's really all it is. But identifying this and understanding why it's wrong is very important. That way you can actually start working on what is right. Because if you don't know what's wrong, how are you going to fix what's right? So, we need to get this shoulder more over here. That way, if I draw this line in this next video, I'm able to put your toe, your knee, and your shoulder all together. Like so. And I mentioned that it looks dead down in your legs. We need to get a lot more mechanics going on. We need to be not so straight-legged. Like I said, I wish I had a little more bend in my leg. But to give a good representation, I have a video of me throwing shot put, but it's the same exact mechanics down low. So I'm going to use that. And I might just zoom in. Yeah, I'll just zoom in on my legs. If I can do that. Yeah, I'll just back out. This is the kind of bend you probably should have. And I know I'm in Crocs, but I am on my toe. Even here, I mean, shot put's different, obviously. You're going to have a different shape when you're coming down, but you can still almost put that line straight through. But you can see off the rip, you can see I'm still on my toes. That one's not so much. You see this pivot? I got pivot here. I got pivot here. My knees are pivoting forward. My hips is then pivoting forward, and then my body is following. And again, I'm able to draw this line. You can physically see this force starting from the bottom and pushing through with every single muscle working together. And I'll take that off and we'll show it. So watch the toes, the knees, the hips, and then the upper body. Toes first. Knees are going. Hips are forward and lifting through. I'm going to just keep showing that because it's the same mechanic with disc. I'll get some better footage in disc, so it's not as hard to translate from shot put to discus. But that's where we're looking. And if I wish I had some more discus footage, I'll get some. I promise. I'll probably get some today while I'm out with my brother Jake. I'll film him throwing disc because he does have spectacular form. And I'm just don't throw that much anymore to give a good representation. I'm going to compare your first throw you threw and then your second one, or your last one, I'm sorry. You're kind of worn out, so form's kind of going to go down the drain. I know that. Let me see which one's which. Okay, this is your second or your last one. This is your first one. And I'll tell you why. So this is the one when I walked up and I said, okay, just throw one for me. And I'll actually just work this up, and then I can show you some progression, because you did good. You did make some change already in that one day. Oh, that's not the one I want. Sorry. Now I can't tell. Forgive me, I'm just trying to figure out which one's which. I think that's the one I need. Sorry, you just did some slight changes. Yeah, this is the one I need. And just to confirm that, I'm gonna look at this one. Yeah, I can tell just because my glasses are on the ground. All right. So, I'm going to show you what was so wrong with your first. And I'm just going to nitpick everything. Absolutely everything. And let's see how many changes I have to make to your second one. All right, obviously, first one, completely flat-footed. Which that break, your knee now, since you did that, this... Alright. So right there, your throw just went to crap because your foot's on your heel's on the ground. Now your knee is going without your foot. These two are no longer in sync. So now this is turning into a step versus a rotation. That break right there, that slight pause. Because now your knee's in front of your toe. Causing you to also stand like this. Making you not be able to... This should already be rotated. Like this heel should already be here. Allowing you to push through it and through your step. Or through it with your, and to be able to push through the throw. That's strange. You're also you're over your foot. You're straight-legged here, but yet you're over it. I don't know what that means yet. Yeah, you're just all upper body. We start getting these legs incorporated with it. Everything else will change. Your release point will change. Position of your hips will change. Position of your arm will change. This is just a big mechanical failure down low. We got really no legs in this throw whatsoever. And it's hurting other parts of your throw. Like everything. My philosophy for like discus and spinners and shot put is you just want to be a very large ballerina in the ring. You want to be as graceful and nimble on your toes, mechanically on your knees, hips, all that wants to be very graceful and fluent and not rough. You want a smooth mechanic, a machine that's working all together to accomplish one goal. So there's just a lot to go over. I don't want to make an hour-long video, so I might just end it here. I'll go over everything one more time, and then we'll go from there. Because I'll bring up I'll just bring up your other one. Your other one was a lot better. You're a lot more fluent. You're on your toes a little more. Yeah, see, you got good land on your toe. You landed on your toe. I know your heel's now on the ground. I see that bend. Even here, it looks good. I'm just gonna go straight from shoulder. You're almost there. You're almost there. But when we come around, honestly, one day you're actually gonna be landing in this position. You're gonna be landing with your toe facing this direction. But that's very advanced, and I want to get everything working first and then add that. So please ignore I actually said that. Like I said, I want to get everything working first. But look at that. It still wasn't as, like, there's no lift. There's nothing coming off this. But you at least gave yourself a chance. You can see your heel rotating with the spin, with the throw. Unlike that dead foot, that break, you're able to actually turn it. I think if you're maybe leaning more that way, because you're not throwing off your heels. I don't know why. If we get your hips forward first, yeah, maybe we get your hips moving in front of you a little more. Have this, you should feel that, and then that's going that way. So your body going more to get your hips forward first, because we want to get, let's see, toe, knee, hip, arm. Let's see, toe, knee, and then hip and arm are kind of together. But since you are not a foot facing this way and a foot facing this way, you're now able to get that arm all the way around and release it a lot better. It could be more center. You could hold on to it just a little bit longer to get that arm fully across your body, but that's already like 10 times better. And I notice that's really all your issues are. You know what I mean? Like a change down here makes things work up here. Because just in that little bit, you're able to rotate and get your body all the way around to be able to throw it better. You're not, because earlier your release point was here. That was your old release point, and now we got it up here, which is fine. I release up there sometimes. You really want it like in front of you right here. And, oh, cool. You did something I didn't get the chance to tell you. You looked at your release. You should always be looking out of the corner of your eye as it leaves your hand. You should be able to see it leave your hand. You should be able to look out of the corner of your eye as your arm's in the air, releasing it and seeing it. By doing that, you're not releasing low. It's another way of forcing your release to be higher and get your arm across your body more. So that's good. So if you remember that, try to do that. Let's try to get these legs underneath you. Let's make sure we're rotating, and like I said, I'll bring up my video. You're trying to replicate this movement. In your legs. You're trying to replicate this in your legs. You can see these heels rotating together. And the knees as well. I'm able to get this lift all the way through my body, through my arm, and throw the shot put. But again, it's the same thing for discus. I don't like using the one I took because it was not that great. It was all right, but there wasn't much mechanics going on. This wasn't that great of a throw, mechanically speaking. I mean, you can still see it. You see my toes, and see my toes right now, my heels pivoting around, my knees, my hips, and then my arm. And again, you can see this push and lift through the throw, my whole body throwing it. That's what we're trying to aim for. Anyways, you have a good day, man. I will see you next time.